So welcome back, friends, to a very exciting day. So I'm in Portland, Oregon at Northwest Quad Vans, and my aluminum rack and ladders, the Safari or the Overland rack and everything's all has shown up, and I'm helping the guys. We're getting ready to install this now. So let me take you over. I'll show you the rack and the front light bar, and we should have everything bolted up and ready to go in about 5 hours. So all this stuff is built by a company in California called Aluminess. It's all welded aluminum. This is the front light bar. So we'll put a light bar in the center there. It's got some mounting tabs. It's kind of a pre-runner style brush guard. That's one of the accessory bars that will be up on the rack for the box, I think. Let's go outside and I'll show you the rack itself. The guys are hooking up the rigging right now to lift it so we can install it. Here's the rack. These are the mounts for the solar panel. I had them put a whole aluminum skin in it, or a bottom, so that we could use it up here. If we ever went to an event we wanted to sit up on top, we can go up on the ladder. Or I've found my last one had a bottom in it, and it was nice just to be able to walk on. It's perforated so it won't hold any water. And then this dips down here to receive the light bar, which will go across the front. But this whole thing is really light. I had a steel rack on my Econoline, and it was probably, I mean, I'm guessing it must have been close to 400, 500 pounds, and it really affected the handling of the van negatively. That's why we decided to go with the aluminum one. This one, I'm guessing, is probably, it's under 200 pounds. It's not very heavy, and it's going to be a lot better up on that high roof. One of the nice things about the Transit is it comes from the factory with 8 factory mounting spots that mount into the body, so it's really easy to put a rack on. You don't have to hang it on rain gutters or any kind of makeshift deal. It's made to receive it from the factory. Now I put that big fan up there, so we had to be really careful when I did all the measuring that the hole is in the right size, in the right spot. So I'm a little anxious about that. I hope I got that right. Tell me the fan's gonna fit. Contact! That was way easier than those anyway. Good idea to put the brackets on first. Yeah. Another thing I had put on was these, they're heavy rubber rollers so that we can run the canoes up there. What I found is the inflatable canoes are nice, but it's a lot easier to inflate them at home with the air compressor than when you get to the river and the cheesy pumps that come with them. So this way we can inflate them in the shop and then just roll them up there and then secure them to the rack.
Next thing we need to get in here is we need to get a skid plate. And that's what protects this. Right, there's one of the holes. That's what protects the diff.
That's a diff skid plate?
Yeah, if I put it on right. That's the way it goes right there.
That is nice. And then what's the second one? You got one
that's the gas, that goes back onto the cross member, and then we have the gas tank one too.
It's Thursday morning. Yesterday we worked, we probably 10 hours over at John's place at Northwest Quad Van to get everything bolted up, and we got everything done and got out of there late, but I wanted to take you around and show you in the daylight kind of how everything turned out. Then we're going to install the LED bar lights. So let's do a little tour. In addition to the rack, we installed an aluminum tube ladder that bolts up there, and it's on the driver's side. You can see right there ahead of the wheel well, bolted tight into the body. So it's a very secure ladder with these accessory hooks that swing out, which I'll show you here what those do in a minute. This over here is a surfboard bar, just an individual bar, and all that gives you is a perch for the hooks. So we can swing these things out here now. They've got these really nice stainless tensioning screws so you can adjust the tension, and all this stuff is all super lightweight and aluminum but very strong, and those flip out there, and now that's an ideal place to lay a snowboard or skis or a surfboard or anything like that. So I'm going to get another set of these. We'll put 2 sets of them on there, and then we can put our stand-up paddle boards inflated, not have to worry about them. Another thing that I thought I might try, Yanmar's back, video coming, is carrying our skis and snowboards in here. So what I think I'm going to do, and this may or may not work, but I've got bags for everyone's skis, and so I think we can put all of the skis in there. I think we should be able to put 3 or 4 sets in there without any trouble, and just get some good quality bungee straps, hook them around there, and store everything on the outside, which would be nice. So the only problem is you get a lot of crud from the road and debris and stuff in there, and that's why they need to be in the bags. So we'll put them in the bags, and that will get everything out. I should tell you a story. One time when I ran a car accident with the fire department in Colorado, of a couple that rolled a Ford Exploder over 4 or 5 times with the skis and sharp edges in the cab, and what we found. So after seeing that, I'm not super keen of having skis inside. They are very, very dangerous. I even think we could probably put a snowboard in there. And I could adjust, whoops, I could adjust the length, but we should be able to, yeah, it's definitely long enough. Put it in a bag, and then we could probably put probably 2 snowboards, a couple pair of skis in there. If we had more hooks, lots more. So that is super, super handy. Really going to enjoy that. The front, I couldn't be more excited about how it turned out. This is the Aluminess. They make a full front bumper, but I didn't really like, it just didn't really suit me. I like something just a little bit more minimalistic. So we went with their light bar or brush guard. So this again is very lightweight, heavy duty aluminum tubing, and it's got the plate on here for a light bar. So if we want to, we can put, I don't know, maybe a 36-inch light bar or so in there. I'll have to measure it. But the guys did a great job at Quad Van installing that. They had to take the whole front bumper cover off, cut the holes in there. It was actually pretty easy to install once we've got it figured out, but it really complements the van, I think, a lot. I think it really works with the design of it. It's just cool. It just looks really, really cool. So let's head up on top, and I'll show you the rack, how that turned out. This is tall up here. So here you can see that flat plate right there. That's the mount for the light bar. So the big curved light bar will go on there. These are the mounts here, I believe, for the solar panels. So we'll put the solar panels up probably up front right here. And then a full aluminum bottom. And this thing is so light. I was worried that it was going to be heavy, but I drove it back last night, a couple hours, and it was really windy, and I didn't even notice it was up there because it's aluminum. It was so light. So here is the rollers for the canoe. So these are a really high quality, I don't know, it's like a poly, what are the bushings? Those really nice bushings they make. It kind of feels like that material, really hard rubber for rolling the boats or canoes up there, up on the back. And then, of course, the cutout for the van, or the fan that lifts up, so we don't want that to interfere. But very nicely done. It just fits really well with the van. It's absolutely rock solid the way it mounts. 8 mounting points tied in to the factory Ford mounts. It looks like I even have some grommets here that I can run the wires through for the solar panels and the LED off-road lights. But man, awesome. So let's go down. I'll show you the lights, a couple other things we're going to put on, and then we'll do that in the next video. Here's the LED light package. Of course, this is the front radius or curved double row LED off-road light for the front, and these of course are built by Armored. Great value, great quality lights. I'm really impressed with them. The wiring harnesses, everything super nice. If you want to order lights from Armored, I'll put a link down below. They're a local company and good guys, really helpful in making the right selection. So these are these are floods. So we'll put 2 off the back, and I'm not sure where we're going to put these, but maybe off the side, maybe off the awning side. I'm not quite sure, but next video we'll mount all this stuff up. But we've got full wiring harnesses with the relays, so the hookup should be quite simple. The tricky part is going to be just making a nice clean install, running all the wiring through the tubing. You know, I like to do it so none of that shows. I don't want zip ties hanging up there, so we'll do a really nice job with that. Here are the mounts for the front light. Those are those little feet, and then they'll just kind of, what seems to me anyway, hook on here, and then they'll be adjustable. The only other thing is I'm going to put an awning on. These are the brackets for the awning. The awning will mount right there on the side, and then we'll have an awning off the passenger side that we can get in out of the rain. So the only extra thing is I'll be putting the Thule box off of Mrs. W's old car, and these bars are also from Illumines, and they will receive the rack. So they'll pinch, they got the pinch clamps on there that will clamp onto the rack, and then we can adjust them, and then we'll have a waterproof box up there for stuff that we just don't get to all the time. Like in the summertime, you know, it's nice to have life jackets and PDFs and all that stuff that you don't want in the van. Anything that's not super heavy, because I don't like to put tons of weight up there, especially that high. But for bulky items, you know, lightweight camp chairs and maybe extra blankets and clothing and stuff, it's really ideal for that. And they're very slippery the way they're designed, so you don't really notice them up there too much. They're pretty well designed. In closing, I want to give a special thanks to John and crew at Quad Van for really fulfilling a dream of mine in a four-wheel drive adventure van. I remember my brother-in-law had one years ago, and we would go different places, and you know, he'd pull that lever in the front and be able to go on, and I'm putting chains on, or I can't go at all. You know, I've always dreamed of having one. So it's so exciting. It's really fun. It's the most fun vehicle I've ever had. I didn't realize it was going to become my daily driver, but I just enjoy it so much because it's just unique. You can't buy a four-wheel drive van from Ford from the factory. You know, there's only just a couple companies that do it. John at Quad Van, in my opinion, they're the best, hands down. I've looked at the other ones, and I wouldn't consider them. I wouldn't consider anyone other than John, and I really appreciate what a great job. And it's fun. It's fun to have something. I can't go anywhere, park anywhere without someone coming up and wanting to ask about it or interested in it, and it starts conversations, and you get to meet lots of cool people, and I really enjoy it. It's super fun. Also to Kenny at Illumines for helping me get the rack all specced out and getting everything set, and everything just looks beautiful. It exceeded my expectations, and everything fit well, and it was nice. It was really nice to work with, and a fun product that really kind of enhances the experience. To be able to build something that's kind of purpose built for your lifestyle and works with it, and where you can get the whole family together and go out and do things and have adventures and go skiing. It's valuable. We only have a few years with our kids, right? And anything that we can do in these last few years, especially with Jack, he's 13 now, and he's not going to be around forever, to get as much quality time and to build those memories. It's hard to put a price on it. So if you never considered getting a van, you don't have to go all fancy like this one. This is our third van or fourth van, maybe. Our first ones were just hoopties, man. They were just absolute beaters. One of them had the whole side was crushed in. I bought it at a used at auction someone had just creamed it and caved in the whole side, and I thought, well, the price was right. We drove it around forever, and it was embarrassing. You'd go down the road and people would be driving by the freeway looking at it because it looked really bad. I mean, it didn't do any really structural damage or affect the driving the vehicle, but it just looked horrible. But we drove that thing for years. So I finally sold it to this tattoo guy, and he was happy to have it too. So that's where we started, and now we're up to a van that's different in many ways, but essentially does the same thing. So that's it. All right, thanks for watching. Well, next video I'll do the light install. I'll bring you along for that, and that's it. We'll see you on the next one.